Yo, what is up guys? Joker here bringing you the second video for essentially my Arch Glacor guide. This is going to be going over the hard mode of this boss. Essentially I have 570 hard mode kills of this boss. I wanted to go ahead and show a couple of things. Show a kill that is done at low enrage. That way I can just go ahead and show you the different mechanics and what you would want to go ahead and do throughout the kill, as well as I'm going to jump to 250% enrage at a point. That way I can show you pretty much the only different mechanic that you will see as long as you're only streaking to 500. I believe actually if you go over 500, then there is an additional mechanic. There's like additional changes that you do have to look out for. But as long as you stay in that relatively low enrage and you pretty much just want to grab that title, just a short video to go over the mechanics with you and show you that a couple of things. So the first thing I want to point out is that you do want to practice prayer flicking, because essentially in the hard mode, you are going to want to prayer flick just because of the fact that he does have pretty much ramping damage throughout the enrages as you would expect, and I'm going to break it down to you right now. So arm swipe is a melee hit. When he brings his arm all the way up into the sky, that is going to be a magic hit. And then when he brings his arm pretty much 50% of the way, that is going to be a ranged hit. The hug is essentially the same. You want to go ahead and just break out of it. You can use soul split. If you spend too much time in there, it can kill you, but you just soul split the first half, and then you go ahead and you protect for mage from the second half when the damage would be ramping. So magic, and then this is going to be his cannon. This is going to be one of the main differences. You want to go ahead and anticipate, you want to use resonance, and then you want to pray mage. Otherwise this will instantly kill you. Instead of the normal mode where it's one hit, this is 3 hits and it stuns you. So you go ahead and you use anticipation so it can't stun you. And then you go ahead and you do devotion to go ahead and be able to DPS while it's happening. Now there is an alternative. You can reflect it if he does back-to-back cannons. I'll show that maybe in the 250% kill to go ahead and show, because sometimes he will do back-to-back cannons. So that was essentially the kill, showing the mechanics, showing the 3 different types of attacks. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the 250% kill, and I'm going to show you the reflect. Alright, so we're at the 250% kill here, and you'll be able to notice a couple of differences, mainly essentially the damage difference. Even with me flicking correctly, it's that he's going to do a lot of damage. So you can go ahead and debilitate, and as he does his attacks, I'll go ahead, so melee, and then I'll go ahead and mention them range because of the green orb, and then range. Now at any point you can go ahead and resonance any of these hits, and this is going to be a cannon. So what I have to do is I actually have to use my adrenaline pot, just because of the fact that I didn't have enough adrenaline. Oh shit, I said I was going to reflect those. Okay, next cannon, since he'll probably use another cannon on me, next cannon I'll go ahead and show the reflect method. But you want to practice the prayer flicking, and like I was mentioning, because in these enrages where he actually, oh, I just messed one up because I was monologuing. But while he goes ahead and you want to practice, because when he actually does have additional damage, you want to be able to heal without using that much food, as well as with these beams, they do a lot of damage. So this should actually be a hug right here. Yep, see? And then essentially the hug's the same. Sorry, I essentially ate up to full because I had to take my hands off my keyboard for a second. Okay, and then this is what I wanted to show you. At 250% enrage, the minions are gonna get a fifth minion, which is going to be kind of like a super Glacor. It's going to be essentially just a little bit higher stats, but it's going to spawn in a separate location majority of the time. So you won't be able to just use one thing. And oh wow, he actually did it back to back. Jeez, thank you. This is honestly, in my opinion, one of the more annoying mechanics just because you have to use a couple of abilities and the hitboxes on the Glacors kind of suck. But this is essentially what I wanted to show you, right? Is that this is the only difference that you're going to have to really notice or deal with while streaking from 0 to 500%. That's the only mechanic that does change. So you don't have to worry about anything else. Besides that, it's just the boss gets more HP and does more damage. That's the only change that's like a physical change. And as you can see, once you go ahead and you learn the mechanics, it's just repetition at that point. Ow, I should have flicked that. I don't know why I didn't. Here, let's actually try to get some HP back. There we go. And yeah, he's going to be dead here in a minute. So essentially melee, because melee is a swipe. Magic, because he reaches his hand all the way into the sky. And range, because it's a green orb. Once you learn, oh, and this is going to be the cannon. So if you have a defender, you go ahead, you reflect, you debilitate, and this is going to hurt because I don't have resonance. But that's essentially the alternative to if you don't want to use devotion. You throw on a shield or defender, you use reflect, you use debilitate, and you use anticipation. Otherwise, that will still pretty much one-shot you. What you want to do is you also want to go ahead and use resonance. You want to have resonance up because that way one of those hits will just heal you, right? Alright guys, well I know that was a short order video as well, but that's going ahead with mechanics that I explained in the last video. That's going to essentially be the Glacor, the hard mode, and the normal mode. If you have any additional questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me.